Bees?
What the hell?
Bees?
Bees?
May I please finish my breakfast before you hit me with an existential crisis? I don't know how to stop this.
Damn, are there crap? That's not. Where did they get the crossbow?
Similar situation.
Why? I'm clean, chat. I was not informed that scrolls have crossbows. It's a pirate blouse. You already ate your lunch? I haven't eaten my lunch yet, chat. Also, we need to do reacts, chat. Yeah, react time. Let me get lunch, and then we will start. Be right back.
+_+ why are you looking like that?
Why are
Can
you
you
looking
look
like
somewhere else? Bokath one onion.
All right, you guys ready for the onion? Get your clip buttons ready.
Welcome back, Boka.
Get your clip buttons ready, guys. You ready? I sure hope you're ready, because I'm doing it now. What? Do we need another one? Was that good enough? Was the sound good enough? Bit of an older onion, so they're slowly like indoctrinating me to the onion, guys. Slowly happening. Give me a sec.
The power of onions, God shall be yours.
Onions, God. I'll be yours. What? Because I did find my reacts, by the way. But you wanted me to put this one on? Let me find the one you wanted me to put on. But my chair! The chair's all the way back there. Failure, lock on. Failure. I'm just kidding. I'm not recording. I am recording. Let's go! Why am I taking off the screen table?
Catholic priest gives them a scroll of resurrection after they saved him from skeleton banditos. We should revive George Washington. Look it up. He's been dead less than 100 years, and he technically died of a throat infection. Players are now obsessed with resurrecting George Washington. Next week, they're headed to Mount Vernon to try to rob his grave. I know I brought this on myself, but what do? They find the grave empty. The Lich Washington faked his death.
I'd believe it.
Lich George Washington. I knew you motherfucker. How would George Washington say? I knew you motherfuckers wouldn't let me rest in peace, so I took it upon myself to ensure my presidential retirement for all eternity. And his phylactery is the Declaration of Independence.
What the hell?
Hey, you ever think about how you could cure like 30 people of life-threatening diseases every single day, but instead kill distant monsters that probably never threaten an actual person?
I feel like the paladin just leaves your party after that and just goes on a healing campaign.
May I please finish my breakfast before you hit me with an existential crisis? No. Name, occupation, and reason for coming to Waterdeep. Stab Cuddington, criminal, and crime.
I mean, he was honest.
Excuse me? This is not what I meant when I said you should be more honest with people. The guard is tired or
I'm not hiding behind the screen. You're hiding behind the screen now. But you.
annoyed enough, they might just roll their eyes and wave you in. Guard, very funny, bard. Just don't sing your songs and your jokes at the guard house. Tarot D&D.
I mean, that could also happen, very likely.
It's D&D, but you replace the dice with tarot cards, and the DM has to interpret the results by symbolism instead of numbers. Ooh, my friend proposed an idea similar to this. Cards Against Humanity D&D. It's basically the same concept, but instead of tarot cards, use Cards Against Humanity cards. As she puts it, hey, perception check? Bees? Bees?
Bees?
That sounds absolutely horrendous. Your friend should be very proud. I agree. You know,
Bees.
what? I'm gonna draw a random Cards Against Humanity card so I know what to comment. Rearranging someone's face with a tie
Well, someone got hurt.
Jesus. Roll for persuasion, police brutality. Gets beaten down by the guy. Hey gang, if you're sick of having to wrangle your players into agreeing to a time and place for a D&D game like herding cats with jobs, get your D&D itch scratched with Dragonair now in phase 2 of their D&D collaboration with more content, events, and good stuff. Dragonair is an open world RPG with dice rolls, character customization, and dungeon battles. Phase 2. They've already released Drizzt and Urtu, and on Feb 23rd, Elminster and Samister are dropping. With a great big bushy beard. There's a full D&D collaborative adventure as you track down the Cult of the Dragon. There's Dracoliches. There's the Master of Sam, Samister. Gonna need a sweet wizard's hat for my boy Elminster though. Big difference in phase 2. You can...
Like, where is his wizard's hat? It's Elminster. He needs his wizard's hat.
Get in on boss challenges and summoning events, as well as exclusive Elminster swag. With over 10 million downloads, it's free to join D&D Legends in Dragonair on PC, Mac, Steam, Epic, Android, and iOS. Bye! Just kidding, I'm back to tell you that there's a link in the description. Okay, bye for real now, bye! My favorite part of my D&D group right now is that their collective anxiety creates a better story than I do when planning the session. Me intending to have them fight or befriend a pack of sea-eyed half-wolves. As you're setting up camp tonight, you hear howling in the distance. My player, a ball of anxiety with legs. Hey, DM, what phase is the moon right now? Me reading their mind and quickly flipping pages to the CR3 werewolf. Oh, you know, full. DM, something brushes your...
That's not nice. Don't use their anxiety against them.
...the leg under the water. DM, are there krakens in the water? Yes, roll for initiative. It is now is my absolute...
DM, are there That's not nice!
...favorite sentence as a DM. Some of my most memorable encounters have just been the players taking a guess at what they think the encounter is, and then immediately being proven right, even if they were wrong about 5 seconds ago. Hey, what do you call a fish with no eyes? Actually, the faceless cusk is a deep-sea fish that don't have eyes at all. Isn't that fascinating? Fish. Okay, this should be a simple job. We get in, we grab the supplies, we get out. Everyone remember the one rule. Rogue, Warlock, Barbarian together.
No killing.
No murder.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the rule.
It's stick together. This is a hospital. No murder was implied.
I don't think it was.
Huh, gang? Artificer slowly plugs the life support he was using to charge his automaton back in. There are now 2 rules.
Yes.
Why do people write the acronym for Dungeons and Dragons as D&D when it's much more accurate and fun if you write it as DAD?
I mean...
DAD, Dungeons and Dads. My character's name is Jim Johnson. He's a level 15 general manager and has 20 points in build, deck/porch. My favorite thing in D&D is when someone flubs like a really obvious perception roll or something and the DM gets to be like, well, you're pretty sure you're in a room, but you could be wrong. It is either really wet or really dry. You're not entirely sure. One time a guy in our party rolled a nat 20 on a perception check and there was nothing around he didn't already see. So the DM said, you're not quite sure, but for a few seconds it seems like you're standing on a giant's table, surrounded by 5 giants. Your party seems to look stiff and fake, and large papers and dice are strewn around you. Then, everything goes back to normal. Running. So I've been playing this homebrew campaign in a sort of Conan the Barbarian setting. Most of my players are barbarians, and it's been a blast, but at some point, one of my players said, it's time to get serious during a tough encounter, and took off their shirt while screaming in rage. They proceeded to roll a nat 20 to the shock of everyone. Then, one by one, they all just get really hyped and started taking off their shirts, screaming. They ended up winning the encounter, and it was a funny moment, but ever since they have been calling themselves the Beef Brigade.
Refusing to play with shirts on? Yes. That's the rule now.
I mean, it's cool that
you can't watch book without your shirt off.
They want to get in character, but I don't really like this. Every time
Except for you. Yes, you. I see you. Put it back on. Put the shirt back on!
Tell them not to take their shirts off. They get upset. They all start to flex and tell... Yell at me. Things like you can't stifle the beef or call me bad beef. I just didn't know what to do or how to stop this. If anyone is still in a similar situation,
Why?
advice. Ooh. Take your pants off to DM. Assert dominance.
Wait. That implies you have pants on. No.
I'm introducing a bag of scolding to my players. Give me your funniest insults. Basically, it's a standard bag of holding, but whenever it's used, I'm forcing the player to roll a d100. Whatever the result is, that's the insult that it's going to sling at the player. Once, or if all the insults are used, it'll be a normal bag of holding. It's my way to vent at the players for this insane nonsense they've done. That's fair. If it helps, I'm making the bag sound like Joe Pesci. I gotta do a Joe Pesci impersonation. Okay. Boy, you're a few cards short of a full deck, ain't ya? Have a card. And then gives a random card instead of the object they were looking for. You are a background character in your own life. This goes hand in hand with you're none of your best friend's best friend. I keep wondering why the party lets you hang around. I mean, most NPCs are useful. This is exactly the sort of acquisition I would expect from such a paragon of mediocrity. Wow, that's impressive. Did you smash a clay pot to find that, or was it a prize from a county fair?
I feel attacked by the smashed pot one. Can we not do that?
You're looking for your dignity. I don't have it.
Wow.
If the item is something fairly disgusting, oh, finally, one of you bathed. Pro tip, you don't need to keep the filth for sentimental reasons.
I'm clean, chat.
Had a druid that took it upon themselves to protect and maintain a large forest city near the city we return to often, dumped so much gold on our gates to awaken as many animals in the forest as possible. The big bad evil guy sent a threat to kill each of us while we were separated. My druid felt like a Disney princess as all the creatures of the forest beat its ass. I only got one attack off on the guy. I mean, what do you do against deer and mounted crossbows reloaded by squirrels?
Where did they get the crossbows? I was not informed that scrolls have crossbows. What forest is this? I need to stay away from it.
You die screaming.
For sentimental reasons.
We got here as fast as we could. Druid petting their crossbow deer. It's chill.
It's chill. Wait, crossbow deer? This implies that it's... Do you fuse the deers with crossbows? How does it fire? Is it the antlers, the crossbow? How does it mate? Does it fire at each other? Does it kill each other? I don't like where this is going.
I speak for the trees, and the trees are gonna break your fucking knees.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Nature is scary. Intelligent nature with weaponry is downright terrifying. Absolutely. Gods, I can't imagine how many complaints the hunters of that city filed against the mystery man awakening and arming the forest creatures. Why are there so many posts about asexuals being immune to sirens? Sirens don't lure you in with sex necessarily. They sing
about what you desire most. Like, it's literally mentioned that, like, for some it's food, for others it's, like, the wife, like, you're missing, or, like, cause, like, if you ever read Odysseus, one of the sirens is singing to Odysseus as his wife, like, saying that we miss you, come back home, kind of thing, like, and that his daughter's there with her, and stuff like that. It's not always sex. It happens to be sex a lot because it's sailors, and that's kind of the thing they're deprived of the most out on the sea. Especially back then. Because that back then it's seen as a taboo to have a girl on the ship because it's bad luck. Which, to be fair, back then, yes, it would be, because some people would be distracted.
about whatever it is you want most. They could sing about Mothman or Cinnamon Toast Crunch, and guess what? Then your asexual pirate is fucking dead.
Exactly.
You think that sirens would be grateful that they finally get some variety? Oh my god, we can finally sing about pasta. Thank the fucking god.
I feel called out. I feel
What the
called
fuck's going on
out!
from the rocks? Fuck it, they said they have fettuccine carbonara and hot garlic bread over there. Hang on! I like how this lead.
garlic bags.
Them into being ancient scammers. Siren, 10 hours of sleep and no deadlines. Me performs Olympic dive tomorrow. Look, you're an unwilling adventurer. They sing of a peaceful life. I'm not rolling wisdom checks here. You all roll charisma checks. No. I will not sing about feet again.
I will not sing about feet again.
Gonna need a human skull, and I can't have you ask any questions. Only if you also don't ask why.
How many skulls do you need?
What? Okay, sure. Pulls out 7 pristine human skulls from their
Not enough. Where's the other 27?
bag. Take your pick. Wizard. This one's fine. Man, the daily interactions between a closeted necromancer and an assassin would be pure gold. Hey man, how was your day? Definitely didn't assassinate a duchess because I'm a law-abiding citizen. How was yours? Definitely didn't get paid by a duchess's family to reanimate it because I do not practice dark magic. Cool. Cool.
Wait, didn't one of them just undo the other person's? Nope. We're gonna move on.
Plot twist. The pristine skulls are actually skulls from the pristine family. The rogue has been on a revenge-fueled family annihilation, has been slowly building the set. The skulls are, in fact, completely disgusting.
No.
Meanwhile, the paladin is having a drink somewhere and suddenly gets shivers up his spine. Do you hear that?
No.
There comes a time in the career of every single YouTuber to speak on the particulars of Legends and Adventurers, a game that is available on mobile and on your PC, for which this month is celebrating its 5th anniversary. If you have a taste for elves and orcs and all things such fantastical, and perhaps a decent smattering of combat that is tactical and quality is something that you look for in the graphical, then please I must urge you to do your best to be most practical. You can battle friends and foes of this world and the fictional. The game is as addicting as I am overtly dictional, so join the fray and cut a path and draw upon your weapons. Click the link and download Raid Shadow Legends.
Raid Shadow Legends, turning 5 years old. They can legally drink in the nation of Australia. If you use my link or scan the QR code,
Nope. He said Australia. I
this
refuse.
bonus is worth $100 dues. There's also the epic champion Lady Etessa, 500,000 silvers, and another 500 silver.
Look, Raid. Want me to sponsor you? Offer a dragon. All you gotta do.
Do you reach level 25?
Otherwise, pick rocks.
If you use the code Festival5, you get another epic champion and another 500,000 silver and some other rewards. They're going wild with giveaways for new players, new content. Just in the last year, there's been the live arena, called the Arbiter series, new bosses, mythical champions, and the Cursed City. Make sure you celebrate Grade's 5th anniversary with the Festival of Creation, a month-long party of events, tournaments, free gifts, and etc. You can also join my clan, which is a thing. The link is in the description to join up, along with the link to give you all the other good stuff. Goodbye forever. A necromancer is just a really late healer. You're too late, Doc. He's already dead. And I get my medical license revoked for nothing. I like the idea of a necromancer that can bring back the dead but doesn't know how to cure the living, so has to wait for someone to die before bringing them back. Hey, Doc, do you have any splints? I think I fractured my ankles. Cocked gun. No, but I'll do you one better. Your disease is incurable.
Wait. I don't think that's how that works. No, I'm quite sure that's not how that works.
Death, on the other hand, I can work with. Medic. Anyway, that's how I lost my medical license. I can imagine a necromancer doctor at a hospital barging into a private ward while the patient's relatives are saying their last goodbyes, breaking the ventilator, and resuscitating the patient in a matter of seconds while the family just stands there shocked. The necromancer is also an unbeatable lawyer because the first witness they call upon is the victim. Victorian England, the American Old West, Meiji Restoration, the French privateering in the Gulf of Mexico all happened with in a single person's life. Conclusion, an adventuring party consisting of a Victorian gentleman thief, an Old West gunslinger, a disgraced former samurai, and an elderly French pirate is 100% actually historically plausible.
That's concerning in more
The
ways.
Meiji period in Japan ended in 1867, Abraham Lincoln was assassinated in 1865, and the facsimile machine was invented in 1843, giving a 22-year window where Lincoln could have received a fax from a samurai.
That's one fact up samurai.
Cowboys were a sort of itinerant warrior class common in the Meiji-era Texas, is a Tumblr quote that lives rent-free in my head. So this is basically a French grandma taking care of her 3 adopted grandbabies, each one from England, Texas, and Japan. Yeah, exactly.
She got around, guys. She's on a ship. She could have gotten around. It could have happened.
You got it. Consider a fantasy series where the court wizard is treated and portrayed just like an IT guy. Court wizard fixing the queen's magic mirror. Has the attempted cleansing and reapplying the runes anew?
I don't like it. How much tech I help with half the time, I don't like it.
Court wizard sees like 17 hexes in the magic mirror and finds out that the flame barrier blessing was turned off. Court wizard finally fixes the magic mirror and sees the reflection of the queen reciting, "Show me beautiful forest nymphs. Show me where to find beautiful forest nymphs. Show me local witches willing to summon beautiful forest.
Someone has a type.
Show me beautiful witches. Show me..." Madam, a licensed enchanter would never ask you for your activation rune. The queen, come on, you know it's wrong to look at another magic user's mirror history. I mean, we've all asked mirrors to show us pretty weird things. Someone needs to tell the queen that the hot single forest nymphs in your area ads are fake. Wait, if vampires don't need air, they would be awesome scuba divers. They could just wear a...
I know about this because technically the only thing that vampires can't cross is rivers. Technically the ocean isn't running water. It's still water for the most part. So technically, vampires could scuba dive.
backpack full of rocks and walk on the bottom. And if they dive down deep enough, light won't even reach down there, like aquatic vampire covens at the bottom of the ocean trenches. Don't underwater cave dive, too dangerous. Why, would I get lost and drown? No. Fucking scuba vampires.
Scuba vampire!
Hey bro, you wanna go scuba diving? Sure, just let me eat this garlic bread first and then we'll be safe.
No, you're spicing yourself up. Garlic's a good spice. It's very powerful. Goes into the blood.
Vampires are real, they're all just deeper than our submarines can reach. Horrifying. Thanks again to Raid Shadow Legends for sponsoring this video. Check out the links in the description to download the game and get all that free stuff. Okay, goodbye now. Goodbye. Bye.
Bye.
My party don't realize NPCs can lie.
No, they can't.
I just need a vent. I've been DMing for a long time and my party are wonderful. They are fully engaged and excited for the story and characters and all that good juice. They think most things through carefully and roleplay their characters really well and avoid metagaming really well too. Overall, my party is great, except for one thing. For whatever reason, they refuse to believe that NPCs might lie. They understand that some may not tell the full truth or hide some details, but outright lie? Never! They could literally be on a mission to find out who is stabbing people and track down the world-famous stabbing enthusiast Jimmy Oof Ouch He Stabbed Me Stabbington at his house, which has a giant glowing neon sign that's saying, "Jimmy's stabbing cabin. Find Jimmy inside holding a knife that is currently embedded in a person who is screaming, 'Help! I am being stabbed!' And if they asked Jimmy if he is stabbing people and he said no, while staring at their currently unstabbed bodies, they would believe him and just leave with a shrug saying, 'Well, it was a good lead, but he said it wasn't him.' Then they would get stabbed and be outraged because they asked him if he was stabbing people and he said no.
How dare he?
I just want to add, Jimmy's stabbing cabin is not a hypothetical. They followed this lead because there was flyers posted around the city saying, 'Feeling unstabbed? Come to Jimmy's
In not
stabbing
home
cabin.'
Booker. Getting
We'll
stuff
stab
ready
ya.
for Pride Parade. D.
Since this is getting attention, if any of my party see this, no you didn't. Also, how did you all fall for deciding to pursue the character literally named Red Herring?
feel attacked about that one. I feel so attacked by that one.
DMs of Reddit, what are your favorite useless
Stealth. I want to put that stealth.
magic items? I put a replica of Bilbo's Sting in my campaign, a +1 short sword that glows a cold blue when orcs are nearby. The only player character in the party who had use for a magic short sword was the ranger, who himself was a half-orc. Following the events of the campaign, it made its way home with the player's orc tribe, who venerated it as a holy artifact, the sword that always glows. It's a little thing from the trinket list in the PHP, which is a tiny little mechanical crab that moves around when not observed. The party is obsessed with what it could mean, but the truth is it's just a little mechanical crab that doesn't like to be observed.
His name is Billy. And he's got anxiety. He doesn't like to be watched.
It's shy. Ring of Attunement. This ring grants you an additional attunement slot, requires attunement. Pretty good. Cape of Billowing from Xanathar's Guide. Elaborate on the cape? You can use an action to make the cape billow magnificently. Great for asserting your importance during a speech or making important entrance. Orb of Slope Detection. It's perfectly round and glows when on a slope. In a campaign, we had a gravity-sensing rock magical item. If you dropped it from any height, it would fall when gravity was present at a speed equivalent to the gravity. Stupid. It's like the Ring of Time Travel. It lets you travel forward through time at the speed of regular time. I wouldn't
Those aren't magic items. Those are items someone said is magic. It just described what it'll do.
say completely useless, but there is an item that just makes me laugh called the Belt of Pants. It's just an illusory belt that gives the illusion of them wearing pants.
I should wear that belt.
Spelled Revivify. Last night was session 60 and happened to be a BBEG on a side arc. After choking with a dragon encounter a year ago, I didn't pull any punches. An anti-healing effect would nearly spelled the end for our monk, especially when the barbarian was dominated by the big bad evil guy. The bard went down and in-sprinted in the cleric. She went to recast Revivify, and though it crushed me, I cast Counterspell. Oh. Even though the bard nodded with approval as I said I was going to do it, it felt pretty bad and I fought back a couple of tears. Oh. Thank goodness for the wizard counterspelling the counterspell. Jesus Christ. The people I DM for are wonderful. They're all caring, giving people. They have one another's backs both in-game and out. Though it would have been losing our bard, I know the player would have taken it in stride and been back with another lovely character next time. I'm not looking for advice or need anything, I suppose. It's more that I just feel like I need to express gratitude for a game that can be emotional and incredible roleplay. The hardest decisions require the strongest of wills. Title made me think you were a player who counterspelled a fellow player. I'm glad to see that's not the case. Jesus Christ.
I'd do it.
So, my players found a ladder. My players are currently going through a dungeon. Nothing spectacular so far, but after a while, they enter a room and I start describing it. It's a relatively empty room, with only a workbench, a few wood scraps, and a few metal spikes and a ladder. Suddenly, my human fighter asked me, "Hey, can I take the ladder with me?" I thought, well, okay, sure, it's just a ladder. What's going to happen? It's not like she could do something absurd with it. Then my rope...
You don't understand. You got to realize that everything has a use.
Rogue asked me if they can put the metal spikes on the end of the ladder and use it as a ram. And they found a poison gland on a dead imp, and they asked me if they could put that also on the ladder. Then they found a wizard who put a spell on the ladder that made it less prone to breaking. The ladder now does 1d8 piercing, 1d4 poisoning, 1d4 bludgeoning per person. That helps to use the ladder, plus strength mod, plus proficiency bonus, with a range of 30 feet if extended and 15 if not extended. Originally, I said the ladder would break on a 1, but now they added an extra layer of protection. I said if it brings them to a 1 in death save mode, 10 or below if it means it breaks. That ladder, man. That ladder. Eventually, the ladder becomes a legendary item. Relic hunters are tracking the party. A powerful creature from another realm just now heard of it and communicates with the party to buy the ladder. The king swears the ladder will never leave the realm. I'm definitely going to do
Ladder.
that. That's an amazing idea. Local OSHA equivalent is tracking them since it breaks multiple codes. My player literally pulled out a Chekhov's gun, and I am both proud and laughing. For context, I made an item for a particularly rough fight for my players about a year ago, where this enemy had a super strong gun that I named Chekhov's gun as a bit of a joke to myself, and this gun shot lightning. They grabbed it after a hard-fought battle with a couple of quickly revived casualties and put it in their bag of holding. It has sat there for almost a year, forgotten about by the players and myself before last night when they were fighting an enemy that was vulnerable to lightning damage and was hurling things from a distance before one of my players yelled out, "Oh my god, he planted this for us so long long ago. We forgot about it. I know exactly what we're supposed to use. And they whipped out the gun, proceeded to shoot the character almost to death single-handedly as the rest of the party ran around and distracted the monster. In all reality, I had just forgotten about the gun. Most of them have magic and almost all of them have lightning magic, so I figured it'd be a fun way for them to slowly figure out this monster's one weakness and take them out together. It didn't end up that way, and I apparently left a Chekhov's gun in-game and didn't expect it to get used. OP introduced...
Isn't Chekhov's gun like an item that ends up being used later on in the story? Did they literally Chekhov's gun the Chekhov's gun?
Used a gun in the first act and didn't expect
I feel
it
like
to
that's
go
what
off
just
in the
happened here.
second. I love players. The DM planned this masterstroke out a year in advance. Yeah. Yes, I did that thing.
You guys said that there's another one I missed? Yeah, we'll watch this one real
A
quick.
D&D campaign concept. An adventuring party made entirely of people of one race disguised as people of another.
I've always wanted to do this and have them all be bards. And I wanted them all be dudes dressed as ladies. And the song they sing when they're fighting is, "Dude looks like a lady!" Damn it! Damn it! You know? That'd be funny.
Disguises are really bad. Like, the dwarf is just a halfling with a fake beard. The orc is an elf with body paint and novelty teeth. And the Dragonborn is just 3 goblins in a trench coat, but none of them have any experience with any of the other races in question and are trying not to draw attention to their own disguises. So all of them are fully prepared to accept any oddity on the part of the party members. The halfling having just been caught taking off their beard in private so they can breathe. This is normal for dwarves. The goblins who are looking for somewhere private they can crawl out of the trench coat. Acceptable. Have a nice day. Friend Orc, I don't mean to alarm you, but the green appears to be coming off of your skin onto my hand. I have a skin condition. Halfling, discreetly adjusting their beard. Acceptable. Have a nice day. Elf. Dragonborn, you're mid-half
It's just them trying not to be racist.
is wiggling and making noises. The goblins, who the top one had accidentally kicked the middle one. This is normal stomach cramps. The elf needing to replace a tooth. Acceptable. Have a nice day. I had a character whose name was Hugh Man, who was just a lizard folk with a fake moustache. Of course, they must be accompanied by Sir Barrington, the most human in all the realms. A daring proposal, Sir Barrington. From anyone else, the Baron would dismiss it out of hand, but from you, well, just so, Sir Barrington. Just so. The phrase, no amount of
Barrington is like my secret want.
skill will protect you from the sheer luck of a chronic dumbass pumped into my head, and if that ain't a big mood, I don't know what is. Dungeons and Dragons. A summary. In a fit of anger, you track down the demon who stole your body. Turns out that a dragon stole their body, a pixie stole the dragon's body, and a unicorn stole the pixie's body. And it's gonna be a long afternoon.
Like, some of these make sense, but I'm trying to figure out why a unicorn would steal a pixie's body. And how do you even get through the pixie having stole the dragon's body? Because it couldn't have been fairly.
I thought the fetch quest ended in the first half of my adventure. I've never been to Las Vegas, but I love it in concept because it sounds so made up. Imagine if you were reading a fantasy novel and they were like, smack in the middle of a deadly, inhospitable desert, there is a glittering city of indulgence and lawlessness and cheap sin that has specifically engineered itself to obfuscate your sense of time and keep you there as long as possible while they take all your valuables. You'd be like, yeah, that's some wizard shit. Places to add to my next D&D campaign. Las Vegas. Hell yeah. Over the past few years, I've gone from wearing a lot of this to a lot more this, and this, and this.
Isn't that a movie leather jacket? I want that shirt. I like those shirts. The shirt in the middle right there. Like forget the jacket. The middle shirt. Oh, that one's kind of cute. That middle shirt, because it's a pirate blouse.
But I found that men's fashion tends to be pretty
Pirate
boring, and so you have to
blouse.
go wildly out of your way to find some interesting stuff. And that's why
Blouse.
I was actually really excited when Holskin reached out. For me, I have an aesthetic in my head that I'm trying to recreate. If you're in the same boat or you're wanting to do the same and don't know where to start, I found a lot of pieces in Holskin's range that really genuinely stand out. I gravitated towards things that I never usually are interested in. There's a lot of statement pieces in there, but because they use a lot of natural materials like wood, it fits into a lot of different aesthetics as well. It's also FSC certified. Free, son! They have over 1,000 pieces of jewelry, watches, and more for men and women, though honestly plenty of the stuff I have now was in their women's section. There's also a 15% discount code in the description. I recommend checking it out. They also make a great Valentine's gift. When you want to dress
More
nice,
girls should wear
ditch the
men's
hoodies,
clothing.
and you too can look like
Break the stereotypes.
Walmart Nathan Drake.
Break modern conventions. All clothes are for everyone.
The hell? When your friends are a gaggle of idiots with a death wish and you're the only person who's capable of saving them from themselves. When all the weird puzzle shit bores the snot out of you, so you'd rather stack dice till the fighting part gets done. Rogue, when you've never solved a problem in your life, and in fact have caused many, and you're just fine with that, honestly. Dumb D&D warlock concepts. A warlock who's basically a harem anime protagonist, their patron is a collection of 3 to 5 inexplicably hot eldritch monstrosities, whose affections the warlock must precariously balance, lest any one of them establish a definitive claim upon their soul. A warlock whose patron has fallen on hard times and has subsequently showed up to crash on the couch. The patron is still capable of granting unfathomable cosmic powers, but can't seem to get a goddamn job, and keeps hitting the warlock up for money to buy pipeweed. A warlock whose patron is the mysterious author of a series of blasphemous self-help manuals. Their devotions consist of a collection of increasingly bizarre positive thinking exercises, and they keep trying to recruit NPCs into some sort of soul-twisting pyramid scheme.
I don't like that last one.
Warlock who accidentally established the contract with their secretly powerful roommate by making them unfathomably delicious meals. A warlock whose patron is the party cleric. A warlock whose patron is basically their teenage child. But Dad, I don't wanna kill the red dragon. Honey, I know it's not what you want, but Dad here is at 10 HP and the cleric failed the saving throw. Oh my god, Dad, you never get me. Paladin, when you're kind of feeling cleric but also want to stab. Sorcerer, when you want to be a caster but you don't want to be a nerd. Bard.
No. If you want to be a caster, you ain't got time for that study shit.
When you've never made a decision in your life and you don't intend to start now. Warlock, when you're not ready to admit you're into cryptids like that. Jeez.
Oi!
Jesus. Druid, when honestly you'd rather be on the floor petting the DM's cat, but they made you play, and this is the next best thing you guessed. Thanks again to Holskin for sponsoring this video. Highly recommend checking out their site. Link in the description, including the code ZacSpeaksGiant for 15% off. Get something for yourself or a loved one for Valentine's Day.
He speaks,
Bye
guys.
forever.
Bye forever. You heard him, guys. Bye forever.
Shush.
Rude.